My name is Zan Tyler. My husband Joe and I started SCAYS in July of 1990. I served as its president for 10 years, but we've been on the board since its inception and are still on the board. South Carolina originally was one of the worst states in the union for homeschooling. And we had more lawsuits at one point filed than in the other 49 states combined. That left us with needing an alternative to homeschooling through the school district. I came home after a bad day in the legislature and realized we weren't going to have a quick fix for the problem. And I was cleaning off my desk. I only do that when I'm depressed. And I found a memo from an attorney saying, have you ever considered starting an organization like SCAIHS is for private schools for homeschools? There's no reason why you couldn't consider homeschools as private schools and SCAYS as the accrediting organization. So I thought it was a great idea. I called Mike Ferris, who is the president of Homeschool Legal Defense Association, that night about midnight at home. And I said, what do you think? Will this work? He said, let's go for it. And so we incorporated SCAYS in July of 1990. SCAYS began just to meet the legal requirement of homeschooling. And in the early days, the school district said you had to have a 4-year degree and you could only use state-approved text. We said any parent could homeschool and that they can use Christian curriculum, any curriculum that the parent chooses to use. So that was our first departure. That's what landed us in a lot of trouble legally. But when SCAYS was approved by the General Assembly in 1992, then those became the standards. And so that was a new level of growth and a new level of freedom. And then as SCAYS began to mature along with the homeschooling community, we were able to provide support for families, like with our counselors, elementary, middle school, high school, special needs counselors. So we grew in the level of support we were able to offer. And then we grew again as more of our kids were reaching the high school ages. We started providing a lot more curriculum counseling. We started working with the Commission on Higher Education. We actually worked with the CHE, with several members of the legislature and the Palmetto Fellows Commission to allow homeschoolers to receive the Palmetto Fellow Scholarship and eventually the Life Scholarship, which was a huge advancement for homeschooling. So, and now, always my heart, after everything we went through legally and how difficult it was, has just been to support those homeschool moms and dads. So once homeschooling became legal, then it just opened up and began to grow and grow and grow. Over the past 30 years, I would guess somewhere between 15 to 30,000 South Carolinians have been impacted. We also have military families and missionaries around the world who joined SCAYS, so I think we've had a positive impact. I'm proud of SCAYS for a number of reasons, but I have to say that if the Lord had not enabled and led and blessed us, it would have never happened. So I have to give the glory and the thanks to Him, and it's just been such a privilege that He's allowed me to be a part of that journey through our work at SCAYS. On top of that, I guess I have to say it delights me that South Carolina went from being one of the worst states in the nation to one of the freest states in the nation. When the 1992 law was passed, naming SCAYS in the law as an approval agency for homeschooling, it was the first time in the country that a state general assembly had given a private sector organization the same power over homeschooling families as local school districts had. Mike Ferris, who is president of Homeschool Legal Defense Association, said that it was such an important advancement of self-government. And so that delights me, that we can homeschool, we can have accountability, good accountability, positive, supportive accountability, apart from the public sector. The way homeschooling has grown and advanced and the way our kids' scores, I'm so proud of that. It's like moving the whole bell curve over a quartile, which is this huge educational achievement. people in the educational world should be saying, "What are you doing? It's working." My hope is that SCAYS will always stand for freedom, faith, and family. Those three things have always been integrated in my life and in my heart, and that was my passion as we started SCAYS. We have a lot of obstacles and challenges facing us as a country, and I just pray that we will maintain that level of freedom where parents will always have the choice in the way they want to school their children.